Meetings are up. You just brought us live. Thank you. Tonight's meeting is the Garden Village Commission meeting. Today, September 18th, 2025. We're a little bit past 6:05, 6:06 p.m. First item of business is our call to order, our roll call. So if you guys like to sound off.
Pete Soltesz, present.
Go ahead. We don't have Lynn Smith here right now, but she is going to attend. She's on the train coming in late.
Patrice Gallagher here.
Renee Alvarez here.
Okay, so we have a quorum to be able to start. We don't have anybody from the general public here with us today in the room. You can't see that, but and I'm not sure what you can. See from your viewpoint, but the public is always welcome, and we love to have the public from our community join us here. I'm going to move down to number 3, amendments to the agenda. Do we have any amendments that you'd like to discuss for the agenda?
Can I get one of those sheets?
Sure, it's right here.
Oh, it's just non-agenda items. I would like to add one.
Okay,
Patrice Gallagher would like to add one.
okay, so speak up.
Patrice Gallagher would like to add an amendment to the agenda. Can I go ahead and add it?
You can propose it, and then we can move it forward.
And if not at this meeting, maybe the next meeting. I would like to have a discussion about the section of land that is, if I think I am correct in saying that DuPage County owns/controls it, and Villa Park manages it, and it's in front of Villa Perk Coffee Shop, that little section of grass where there's one picnic table there right now.
Okay, so you'd like to have a discussion on,
I'd like to have a discussion on presenting to DuPage some kind of input, however we're going to do that, about the usage of that. It's just been sitting there, and how many times do I drive by on my bike on the prairie path? People could be having their coffee there in the sun instead of on the street in the shade. And not that it's necessarily has to be attached to the coffee shop, but just have some seating. It's just a perfect little plot of land to do something with.
okay. So I would guess that we can insert that underneath commissioner comments to be able to draw that out a little bit further. Patrice. Okay. So I put down for commissioner comments that Patrice Gallagher is suggesting that we add the Villa Park Perk lawn space to a discussion agenda.
If there's time.
Okay. Anything else? And we don't have a consent agenda to work off of. This is our second meeting. And basically, we don't have minutes from our first meeting, unless you brought some notes from the first meeting, Renee?
No, I did not. On the last meeting that we had, or the first meeting, we were, being the first place, the first time, I was unprepared for that moment, and I didn't have any recording devices on me as well. So I don't have any specific notes on the first meeting.
Okay. Well, I believe that we do have some kind of an obligation to create those notes. So I think what we can do is, I have some notes that I took from that meeting. And Tim, and everybody, I don't know if you've had a chance to meet Tim down here at the end of the table. Tim Howe is our village liaison person, just like Tina is our board liaison. Tim is our village liaison, but Tim is also a newbie to the village as well. He's been here, what, 6 weeks?
7 weeks now.
7 weeks, okay.
Yep.
You're aging. And Tim is, what's your official title? Is it the Parks and Recs man?
Director of Parks and Recreation.
Okay, Director of Parks and Recreation. So it's a very appropriate tie-in for us to have you as our staff liaison. And I think that it's going to be very helpful to our commission to have your input, because you manage the day-to-day operations and, you know, or all of the things going on in the village park-wise are taking place from. So that's a good thing. So, and just keep it in mind too, that if anybody on our commission here has any questions, don't hesitate to reach out, send Tim an email, use his phone number to leave him a message. If you have any questions that you'd like to get answered, because Tim can help us. I had the pleasure of sitting with him for a few minutes yesterday and talking about some of the things that, some ideas that have come about from drive-arounds, from that Patrice and I did, and Lynn and I did, going through the village and coming up with some ideas. So we had a chance yesterday to talk about some of those things. So I think it would be very helpful for us to use our resources and basically have that opportunity to not have to reinvent the wheel with a lot of things. So I think it's going to be good, and look forward to you working with us, Tim.
Absolutely.
And wish you well here on your entry to the Villa Park life.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay, so, since we don't have the consent agenda and our business, we still need to, basically formalize, a note taker for the group, for the commission, and, I'm not sure how Lynn feels about that, and I don't want to do it while she's not here. But what I'll do for this meeting is I will take these notes that I'm creating here from the meeting, and I'll use that to put together our meeting notes from our meeting tonight. But amongst ourselves here at the board table here, we need to come up with an official note taker for the group, so that can be something that we act on. And we also need to establish and find out about how we can propose a budget. And I don't know, I know Lynn has experience from being on the Environmental Concerns Commission. Patrice, you do too, from being on that. Weren't you on that same commission too?
I was on the Dole Business and Economic Development Commission.
Okay. So maybe you can share with us how your experiences with that commission in terms of how they set up a budget? Or did they have a operating expense budget to,
They may have, I came in kind of in the middle. Pat, who retired, she took notes for us. She was the one that sent us the agenda items. And then Mark McLaughlin, the director, he was our, if she was that, I don't know his official title, but it's kind of whatever he said went. That's kind of how it went. So,
Mark McLaughlin you're talking about?
yeah.
Okay,
So,
okay, so you're not privy to having any knowledge about how they pulled out a number to use to be able to create an operating budget for the commission?
correct, though Mark had all that information here, and that's just kind of was what it was, if that makes any sense.
Okay,
But I wasn't privy to.
okay. Pete, were you on any previous commission here in the village?
No, fortunately, this is my first round,
Okay,
so
okay, so we're in the learning game together here.
my experience in the business world is, let's figure out what we want to accomplish, set some goals, and then go out and figure out how much it's going to cost, and then propose a budget. It's, I wouldn't know how to do it any other way, but I don't know if that applies to what the situation we're in or not with the timing, so I'm curious to see how we're going to proceed, but
Okay,
I think I could do a little bit more research for you guys on this. And then for the next meeting, I could have a proposal for you ready to go, or have some sort of an idea of what we can do moving forward in terms of a budget. I
Okay.
think that's something that's easily handled for next meeting.
Renee, have you served on a commission before or on an advisory group?
This will be my first time.
Okay,
One thing I do remember from the first meeting that we had was with Kevin saying that there was no specific number, right, for the actual budget, but for us to come up with ideas, just like Tom was saying, that and then present them. And then that number will be figured out somewhat later on.
well, I know from what Kevin Patrick has shared with us when we had the first meeting, he laid out kind of, not an agenda, but a vision about how the commissions were going to produce, what's the word I'm looking for? How the commission's work was going to be shared with the village, and he was talking about doing a town hall style meeting in the winter.
Yes.
In, twice a year, I think he's talking about doing that, a winter event and then a spring event. So, at something for us to consider with our budget request is the kinds of materials that we're going to need to be able to use to basically let people know about how we're planning to operate. It's like if we know we're going to do 2 events a year, he'd like to see us do 2 tabling events, and probably taking place at the rec center, and maybe there'll be another one taking place at the gazebo. I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud. But that's something that we'd have to budget some money for, and also something to basically frame around a tabling event, some kind of signage that says Garden Village Commission. Like the library has, what do they call it, tablecloth. Something that describes, that has the logo on it, that we can use so the public can find us and know that that's what we do. I think these are just a couple of the things that we're going to need to cover with budget expenses.
Can I ask or share something?
And, I'm sorry, can you speak up?
Oh,
Because you
sorry.
got it.
When you're finished, can I just share something from what you shared?
Okay. That's it, Patrice, go ahead.
Okay, I think the word you were looking for was recommendation. That's what we, when I was sitting with Kevin the first time, he said, do you want to be on the garden commission? That's what our role is, to recommend. We would vote on it first, the idea, and then recommend it. And he did say the same thing that Renee said. That's what he shared with me, because I was all concerned. Well, how do we know what we got to do? Because I want to do everything. And he said, well, like Pete suggested and like Renee suggested, that, we come up with the ideas, and then hopefully they'll come up with the budget money.
Okay. Does anybody else have any ideas on items that we would need as a commission to put out on a table to have? Because here we are, it's September, the end of September, October, November, December, we got 3 months. 3 months before the first tabling event. And within that 3 months, we would have to create some kind of piece of literature, like I'm thinking like a trifold, just something that we can put on a table that has contact information, some pictures of things that are in the village already, something that would tie us together as the Garden Village Commission. And that's something that we would have to create. And Tim, is there somebody in the village that does like graphic arts like that?
We have a marketing department that I think we could reach out to help us out. And yeah, we can make something happen with that in terms of graphics.
Just so that we have something to present to the public for when we do these events. Okay, so that's the marketing department. We can follow up with that. Tim, I'm wondering here under this business caption. I know you and I talked about a piece of property that was over there on Villa Avenue and Patrice,
Us?
Yeah.
Villa and Julia.
Julia.
And the official name is Salt Creek Park, not Sugar Creek.
Salt Creek Park.
Well, that's what comes up on the Google map.
Okay, but that's not official for the village.
Oh, excuse me. Right, but it's on the darn map. Okay, fair enough.
That's only Google. Google is not in charge of the world yet.
We said Euclid. Remember, that was the word you used. We had to identify the, property on Villa and Julia.
Villa and
At the
Julia.
bridge right there, across from the golf course.
So, okay, so I just want to share with everybody, yesterday when I got to meet with Tim for the first time, we actually talked about something that our drive-by around the town had opened up or developed. And we were looking at that piece of property at Julia and Villa on both sides of Villa Avenue, because one side is adjacent or sits right on the Sugar Creek Golf Course property, and the other side is the open land adjacent to the creek. And it's a huge, I'm gonna guess, space-wise, if you're not familiar with that space, it's gotta be maybe 150 feet wide, maybe in spots, from the creek bank on the south side of the creek, because the other side of the creek, the people who live there occupy that area because it's an easement that goes beyond
Oh, okay.
their backyard border that they have to the backs of their houses. And you can see the fence lines at the area when you walk through it. But that area we talked about yesterday, about how to go about getting the designation of that area as a park area. So, and Tim and I talked about how to do that with the golf course as well, to see about that parcel that's across the street from it, because if you drive out there and take a look at it, it's a beautiful area that's not being used. It's like, you can, you know, if they were able to go with a crew in there to clear out the underbrush, mow weeds, you can put a couple picnic tables in there, and it'd be the most scenic area of Villa Park, because it has the creek running through it, and you look out onto the golf course. It's just a beautiful little area that right now is just a big piece of land that the squirrels are inhabiting more than people. And I think it'd be a great people space.
I think that the ducks and geese actually have run the squirrels off.
Yeah, maybe so.
I live 2 blocks north of there, so
Okay.
I'm very familiar with that. And I completely agree. I would also like to add to the suggestion of, in the mowing and trimming, that we also consider planting trees, because that could have a lovely shaded canopy area, and you know, things like lindens, black locust trees. They may take decades and decades to grow, but that will be our committee's, our commission's legacy to future generations. We could put some big trees in there that can take root. And
Yeah, I would echo that, because I think the area on the east side of Villa, on the golf course side, that area, there are mature trees in that area. And if we were to go ahead and clean up the brush area beneath the canopy of the trees, it would be a beautiful spot for a picnic for a family, or for anybody in Villa Park to use that spot.
May I
And,
add something to that? I don't know, are we allowed to talk back and forth, or how does this, I don't want to.
yeah, we're in open discussion.
Okay. Also, there's a bridge on either side right there. Renee, you would recognize this piece of property. And I was thinking on the golf course side, I hate to say parking places, but really there's no place, like if somebody wanted to make this a destination, I'm not sure where they would park a car. And so your general idea of the gorgeous picnic table, because it's already gorgeous natural prairie plants there, it looked like, and then maybe creatively and aesthetically appealing a couple of parking spaces.
So I'm going to suggest, and Tim, maybe you could chime in here, with the director of Sugar Creek Golf Course, that, do you know who that is?
I think that, yes.
He's in the list,
Yeah.
so we can find him and
Yep.
talk to her.
Yep, absolutely.
And basically, I think it'd probably be best to go have a one-on-one with the manager at Sugar Creek to find out how they would feel about doing something different to that land than what they're doing now.
Well, the good thing with Sugar Creek is it's a partnership between the Elmhurst Park District and the Village of Villa Park. So we do have some sort of say, so we can definitely have a conversation about that, absolutely.
right now, it's being used to park trailers. There's trailers parked there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and those trailers are from the golf course, I'm betting. Because they did some, underground, sewer work there, I believe, too, this past year. And then they gravelled, paved that area, and there are the trailers parked there now. But I think a sit-down with the Sugar Creek manager would be helpful. And I will take that on to go find out more information.
And one thing I'd like to share is, this is a wonderful piece of land on the other side as well, where the houses are. And, you know, I used to buy little pieces of property, and the big thing was get the darn thing under contract, because you never know what's going to happen. So regarding that statement and having this designated officially as a park, we probably do have to go with what you're sharing and, you know, talk to Sugar Creek first and golf course people
Oh,
first.
yeah, for this piece of
This one.
land that's on this side of the
Yeah.
street. This is not Sugar Creek's.
Oh, so, okay. Can I talk about that piece of land then? So on the other side that doesn't have any designation, to get that darn thing designated as a park, and then we can just breathe and take our time and thoughtfully create the beautiful aesthetic that everybody's probably thinking about. And so I would like to suggest that. I don't know if we could do a vote at this meeting if Lynn comes, but I just want people to understand that somebody could come along maybe and do something with it, and then darn, there goes our beautiful.
Well, and that's
of land.
one of the reasons why, I believe yesterday, Tim, you were gonna look into seeing how we officially would go about doing that, underneath your umbrella.
Yep.
As Director of Parks and Recs, to be able to see how we can help to move that forward.
Yep, that's on my list of things to do. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
And that's something that, that I'm feeling from two different voices here, that we're in agreement. I don't know how you feel about that, Renee.
Actually, I like the idea. I'm a big fan for nature, and having a place like this where I can actually, including myself, being able to take walks and so forth like that, I love that. So, yes.
Yeah, it has a lot of possibilities, and like Patrice has been saying, to get it designated is the first step. And then after it becomes if there's a possibility of getting it designated as a park, then that should be the first thing that we try to get accomplished, because then it becomes open to finishing out the landscape. It's like if you were gonna do a painting of that area, what we'd want to see next there? What would benefit the people in the area, in that area, to use that park more? Because when Patrice and I went out there and looked at it, people were already going out there with a blanket and just sitting underneath the trees and playing with their dog. I mean, it's a very open, friendly area. And it's part of the whole creek system that comes through the town, through Willowbrook High School. And that creek that runs, I'm not sure where it's actually start. I really want to walk that creek. I gotta put on some boots and walk that creek to know where it's coming from in Lombard. And Pete, do you know where it begins back there?
I don't. I mean, I'm looking at my phone, looking at the map. It looks like it ends, 200 yards down from where the bridge is. But that's just Google Maps.
I know that in alongside the parking lot at Willowbrook High School, there's a bridge that takes you to the tennis courts, and that same creek is the creek that's underneath that bridge, and then it goes further south. So I don't know where it goes, but it's that's where the flow is coming from. And then it goes to Salt Creek. So it's, you know, it's something that, it's an exercise.
I'll put my galoshes on and walk with you. You want to walk? It would be fun.
Yeah, we'll go exploring, because that creek is, it moves a lot of water through the village, and it's, you know, it's a village namesake. So it's maybe something that can be used to define that area in some way. I don't know, I'm just
Great idea.
brainstorming here.
Great
So,
idea. Yes.
let's see. I guess the other thing that I wanted to bring up is Patrice and Lynn have both gone around and checked out the village. Renee, have you gone out on your own to take a look around town to capture any areas that you think could be useful for our commission to work on? As far as, you know, like, making it more functional, prettier. Oh, here's Lynn, all right. Come on and join us. So have you been able to do that?
Not as much as I've wanted to accomplish, but the few things that I've done so far is the one area where we have the gazebo right there by the public library. That same area there. And just a few days ago, I was actually doing a little bit of walking there, and I came across that area again, and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of potential in this area still, just to be able to attract more people, because that's sort of like a little bit of the heartland of the heart area of Villa. And so that if we can actually do more things in there to be able to make it more attractive to actually outsiders, that would be even nice.
Are you talking about the gazebo
The gazebo,
area?
the
Right
gazebo.
by where the Chamber of Commerce has their offices in that little building next to the gazebo?
Yes, that's right by the library.
Okay,
Exactly.
okay.
Welcome, Lynn. Can I add something to that comment? I believe that section from Ovaltine anchoring that part of the Prairie Path to the woods where Lombard starts is a very sacred, lovely gem of the Prairie Path. And I had an idea before that I would love to have that designated under monument status to protect it. And I shared that with our president, Patrick, and he said there's even another designation that's even stronger, and it has to do with, some federal, I can't remember, but there was a different designation, and because of the tall building that is almost finished being built, there was a 2-year battle with the residents and the village and the developer, and it's right at the gazebo, that thing that hovers over. And we just kind of, the people, we called ourselves the No Tall Buildings Commission, you know, our little group. And we don't want developers to come in and do whatever they want to do in our town. That developer did not live here. His attitude wasn't the greatest. We live here. And that is a beautiful part of Villa Park. So I would love to make some kind of designation happen where developers can't come in and just build all these super tall buildings on our sacred park.
Lim, you talked about two things in what you just said, and I'm unsure of what you called them. You had a designation?
A monument status.
Monument status, and what was the other one?
I don't remember the name, but President Patrick told me that there's even now a different and more secure designation.
Historic, this is Commissioner Smith. Is it historic preservation?
It wasn't that.
Wasn't
That's a good idea. But it was something I had never heard of. And I have heard that the monument status of things, there's a lot of people trying to use different, monument status was really kind of for monuments. Now it's for people that say, we've got to protect these parts of the United States. And so people have been filtering through the monument status designation to protect their land and the things they want to protect. But now apparently there's another designation, so, does that make sense?
That's an interesting idea in terms of preserving that big green swath going through Villa Park.
Exactly.
I guess I don't know how to pursue it besides investigating what the different designations could be available.
I'd
I
be
mean, if it's,
happy to
if there's monument status and something else, I don't know if there's a woody woodpecker kind of bird that we can piggyback on to, that only lives in that, I don't know, I'm just rambling here, but I don't know how to, what else is available out there, but that would be probably something that we should look at, because that is the area in Villa Park that our municipality uses as a gathering spot. We have the Winter Carnival there, we have the Autumn Jubilee, we have movies in the park. I mean, these are all things that contribute to getting people to use that section of the Prairie Path. And that would be something that is worth protecting, because it's like, yeah, we want to preserve our green space. I think that's our number one responsibility, is to preserve our green space and not let it shrink. So I kind of detected a raised eyebrow kind of enunciation of something that's something that you wanted to pursue in terms of finding out and reporting back to us.
I'd love to do research, and if somebody else would like to join me, I don't want to be a hog about it. If it's something that somebody else is interested in, please let me know, or let us know.
Question?
Hello, this is Commissioner Smith. Because I'm joining in progress, where are we on the agenda?
Business.
Oh,
Oh, you have
business,
one
number
here.
5, okay. Oh, thank you, okay.
Do you have one here?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but that's kind of where we're at. And I've already spoken with Tim, because Tim was kind enough to make sure, as our board liaison from Villa Park, that is Tim's position, to work with our Garden Village Commission as our board liaison. So he was able to basically get this kind of bare bones agenda and get it into Cheryl's hands so that it can be posted on time to make the Open Meetings Act requirements, so that we can not run afoul of any requirements that we have to meet. Which is why the 6 o'clock time was posted for this meeting. And we've already talked about how we all came to the agreement that 7 o'clock is really the time that we need for this meeting to commence on. So, it's something that, hopefully our next agenda for October will bear that out, and we will start at 7 o'clock. But you brought up another good point, Lynn, and that is note-taking. You had mentioned at the first meeting that you were kind of a note-taking kind of person. Am I misunderstanding, or am I putting a new hat on you? In terms of...
Yeah, I don't recall. Are we looking for someone to do the minutes, or is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we are. So,
we have-
and I don't, she's always on her computer, and I don't know, maybe Patrice is a better person for that.
I
but
have to take notes to remember anything, so I always take notes. But I'm not always here because of my job that takes me out of state. Maybe we could, well,
Could alternate.
or if it's not your thing, is it anybody else's thing here? Because we had Pat do ours, and she was a staff person when I was on my other commission, so we didn't have to think about that.
And on ECC, we had Ellen Draconis. She did like an amazing job with it too. But I guess could we have two people to do
Sure.
it? Where
Sure,
if you
there's-
want to be, since you have your computer and you're here, but when you're not
We
here.
are in charge, we can do what we need to do to make things work and easy for everybody.
Then
Yeah.
I would love a template, because now I'm paranoid when you said this, because I don't know what I'm doing.
So what, essentially what happens, you have, this is the agenda.
Yes.
So you're just pretty much filling in what we're discussing as it aligns with the agenda, and then you attribute that to who's making the comments.
Okay,
So that's why it's important, like as we're talking, like I'll say, like Commissioner Smith, and I'll make my comment, just so it helps you and also the public understand.
okay. Yeah, that's great.
And then when you're not here, then I'll do it. And then you would know in advance most of the time if you,
Sometimes.
okay. Well, even if you don't, like I can be the backup.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't mind putting myself in as a C.
You could be an
Backup.
A. If you want.
It's like, I tend to take notes as we're discussing things and the notes that I have in front of me, I would put in, for our next agenda. Tim sent over the template for this agenda, so I have it at home, so
Oh.
I can create, the October agenda after our meeting today, based on, putting in the notes from this meeting.
Yes.
So I could do that for October, so you guys can
Okay.
think about how you want to do it. I'm just looking for help to be able to
Yeah.
do this, so.
This is Commissioner Smith. There's one question that I have is regarding, are we allowed to use any type of AI assistant to take the minutes and then we just check it for accuracy before having them published?
I would think
That
that would
is
be,
quite common
It's
these
very
days.
common.
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's what I was gonna do, and hopefully that was okay. But it's not our replacement, it's our assistant.
It's our assistant, meaning because we still have to cross-check to make sure everything is accurate, there's no misspellings or things that were misunderstood. So as a commission, like when we would send it out, here's a draft of the minutes, please review to make sure everything's correct. Like you said what you said. And then we can publish it. I think that would be a big help as well. I mean, we have that technology, why not use it?
I wouldn't see anything out of order about it.
Yeah, I didn't know if there's something like an open
I don't know
access.
if we have an AI technology ordinance or not in Villa Park. I would tend to go old school with the minutes and basically use the template. Use the agenda template.
Yeah.
Fill it out with a Word Word document file. And then you don't have to use AI because we don't know if there is a AI ordinance. I know it's, they were talking about it, I think, at a committee of the whole meeting a couple weeks back.
Yeah, because there were some accusations about people using AI
Yes.
not in a good way. And
So-
so I do kind of remember that.
Yeah, that's why I posed the question to make sure that there wasn't anything that published that said that we can't do it,
I would-
including in the Open Meetings Act as well.
Well, I don't think there's anything in the Open Meetings Act
About-
that covers AI.
But you
The
could
Open
literally
Meetings-
take a picture of this, stick it in, if it's ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And it's just shocking what
It
comes
does all the
out.
work.
It does all the work.
And then you just cross-check it for accuracy and,
Even, I mean, literally, you're writing.
yeah, you don't, I mean, it's quite common nowadays to use that.
So, like I said, I don't know if Villa Park has an AI ordinance or not.
Okay, we can
And
maybe find that out.
Not to run afoul of it.
Yeah.
Right.
I would
So-
I would just old school the notes.
That would
Okay.
be something to put in the
Yes.
minutes
And,
for action items.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Steve, for clarity, do you want to then be responsible for the minutes of this meeting just because
Yes.
of what we shared? Okay, and then that will help you with October, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, great. Thank you.
Two. That's a question I can pose to Tina. I'll send I'll send a message to Tina asking her about AI questions for the village
Okay, that's great.
to get some clarification, because I don't know, and I don't wanna have us get into muddy water, because we haven't even started yet. So, I don't need that. Okay, so, we don't have any public comments on non-agenda items.
This is Commissioner Smith. We did receive an email.
Oh, that's right, you, did you wanna,
I can
can
read
you
it.
share with the board what?
Sure. So we received an email from a citizen in Villa Park, Mary Ann Greco. And I'll read the letter, the email that she sent. Commissioner Smith, I couldn't seem to find an email for the Garden Village Commission and the form for emailing your liaison, Constatos. Didn't actually allow me to send an email. You're the only email I have for someone on the commission, so feel free to pass along my suggestions. I was talking to Steve Della Rosa, the chair, recently, and he didn't seem to know that the ordinance listed spring sweep as on the responsibilities of the commission. I've attached the ordinance for reference, but the relevant info is copied below. So she did attach the ordinance, and the section in the ordinance that she was referring to is section 2-1305, responsibilities. The Garden Village Commission hereby created shall have the following roles and responsibilities. Item E, to organize and manage the spring sweep event to clean up local parks, trails, and green spaces, encouraging community participation and pride in the village's green spaces. Spring Sweep was what the Environmental Concerns Commission called the wildly popular and successful recycling event, which is very different from what's described in GVC ordinance. GVC stands for Garden Village Commission. I suggest you recommend to the board that they revise the ordinance to rename the event. Otherwise, when you publicize Spring Sweep, you could end up with 300 cars full of ancient TVs and gallons of bad paint blocking the businesses on Home Avenue. I would also recommend to the board and the Green Commission that the former Spring Sweep recycling event be revived with the same name and structure by the new Green Commission. As I said, it was very popular with the residents and kept a lot of recyclable and dangerous material out of our landfills. Thank you for volunteering for Villa Park. Regards, Mary Ann Greco, Villa Park resident.
Okay.
End of message.
Could you take that message and forward it to me?
I did,
Oh, you did? Okay.
just in case I couldn't make it to this
Okay.
meeting.
Okay, because she talks about a number of different things in there. I don't want to,
What
So
was
the-
this, what was that, the person's name and title again?
It's Mary Ann Greco. She's a resident in the village of Villa Park, and she's also a former commissioner, just emeritus commissioner on the Garden, or the Environmental Concerns Commission.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
I just couldn't hear the last, you said her name and then something after that she signed off. What was that, please? Could you please reread the last, how she signed off?
Oh, Mary Ann Greco, Villa Park resident?
Villa Park resident?
Yes.
Oh, gotcha, thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, she
I-
lives in Villa Park. She's a resident of Villa Park.
I misheard, my apologies.
Oh,
You're
my,
good.
no
Thank you.
worries, yeah. So I guess the takeaways from the action items, she's just suggesting that Spring Sweep, which was a popular event held by the Environmental Concerns Commission, and it's now, according to the ordinance, under the umbrella for the Garden Village Commission, and she's proposing that that be kind of reallocated to the new Green Commission, GREEN Commission.
Okay, I have no awareness of what the Green Commission is going to do.
Yeah. So,
It's like I just want to focus on the Garden Village Commission's work. If the Green Commission wants to take on whatever they want to take on, more power to them. But it's kind of separate. It's like, we will follow the ordinance,
Okay.
however the ordinance reads,
yes.
and because that's our mandate.
Okay, yeah. I guess having served on both commissions, I understand what she's saying, that as described, the Spring Sweep event is not the same Spring Sweep event that the Environmental Concerns Commission had, and that when you advertise Spring Sweep event, you're going to get people thinking it's a recycling event showing up, with TVs, batteries, paint, and based on how it's defined for our commission, the Garden Village Commission, it's a different focus. So we just need to have some clarity around that. Is kind of the action item, because they're not, it's the same name, but it was misdescribed a little bit in our ordinance. It's not the same mission. So from a citizen's perspective, they define, or they expect Spring Sweep to mean recycling, and that's not how it's currently defined. So that was one of the primary points of her
Okay.
correspondence, yeah.
And if I could just add to
Yeah.
that email actually brings up a very interesting point. That what I heard her say was that there is an ordinance which directs our team here to be responsible for taking some action in the future. So this is the first I'm aware of that, and that's making my mind wonder, what other, have our predecessors committed us to? So, and I think that's something that we probably should very, very rapidly get our arms around, to find out what other ordinances there are on the books, and what other types of traditional events are as my understanding is, this is a new commission, so I'm surprised to hear that we're on the books for being committed to anything right now. So, I'm not saying, I am certainly in favor of doing some type of, spring cleaning, spring sweeping, getting rid of the batteries and the old paint, and cleaning up the trash and things and so on. So I'm certainly in favor of that. I just wasn't aware of this responsibility, and I'm wondering what other responsibilities lie out there.
So how about if we put the actual ordinance that created the Garden Village Commission on, as part of our next agenda for the meeting?
Yes.
So that we all can reference it and see it in front of us, and let that define where we go.
Well,
Since that is the ordinance that we have to act under.
and by define where we go, meaning, kind of evaluate, and we're still going to define for ourselves where we're going to go, but
Yes.
we're going to also
Yes.
make sure that we're staying consistent with
with what the ordinance
what's already in
says.
place. Yep,
Yes,
great.
and it was this is Commissioner Smith, it is my understanding that we do have leeway also to kind of define and shape where we go based on what President Patrick's kind of feedback and vision. So yeah, we have the larger ordinance, but if we feel that spring sweep could potentially be better aligned with the mission of the green, because at the time that our committee was initially formed, there was no green commission. So, because we were doing all of it, and then I think they realized that's a lot for one commission, lots of different missions. So I think it's worth us getting our understanding of what is the purpose of the Green Commission, what they do, and see if maybe it's better aligned under their mission, and if they would be interested, because right now I'm not educated on what they do, it's because I wasn't even aware of it myself until like about a week ago.
Can I suggest
Yes,
that we use the language of the ordinance that created the Garden Village Commission as the first step that we use to define what the Garden Village Commission can do for itself here in the village. And go from there. It's like that's the legislation that's empowered us as a commission. So we can still come up with different directions for different items, but we don't, it's like, that is the overall guiding, those are the overall guiding words that we have to follow in terms of our basics for what we need to accomplish. And I think we will see how we react with other commissions that are out there when we have a better understanding of what that ordinance says. So that's why I want to include it in the next meeting's agenda, so that we have it in front of us, so that there's no question, so we could see what's already laid out for us. I don't want to do double work.
okay. And I appreciate that, but, as she was saying, Section 2, because I'm reading it now under Section 2, 1305, Responsibilities, Item C, or I'm sorry, pardon me, Item E, like Edward, says that it's part of the responsibilities for our Garden Village Commission is to organize and manage the spring sweep event to clean up local parks, trails, and green spaces, encouraging community participation and pride in the village's green spaces. So, spring sweep event, that is not what the spring sweep event does. There was a misunderstanding when this was written about what spring sweep is. So, there's
So
a,
is spring sweep the creation of the past Environmental Concerns Commission? Yes, it is?
yes, but when you're referencing it to organize and manage the spring sweep event, is suggesting that it's referring to the spring sweep event as it always existed. It didn't say.
I think you're reading too much into it.
Yeah, but, well, when we have it, and if we don't further define it, we're going to see lots of TVs and batteries. and
We're
peop-
not, okay, so.
So just so
we're-
that's the understanding,
We're in September.
yeah.
Spring is what, March? So I think we have some time before us, before
Yeah.
that event is gonna be organized somehow, somewhere.
But not, we won't organize it because it's not the same spring sweep. This is speaking of a park cleanup, pretty much.
Question.
Yes,
I remember Elmhurst and Villa Park's spring sweep is you dump out everything. And then those guys come with their trucks and they put them
Yes,
all. So
I
is that still
volunteer
going
for
on? Is that still happening?
not as defined here. Now, item F says, describe something similar. It says to coordinate and promote electronic recycling events to help residents responsibly dispose of old electronics, reducing e-waste and contributing to the village's sustainability efforts. But Spring Sweep was more than just electronics.
Totally.
It was batteries, it was paint. So I still go back to, there's a misunderstanding of the scope of Spring Sweep when this was written. So now as it's written, Spring Sweep is defined as more of a parks cleanup, picking up litter and just how you have beach cleanups. It's like a
Completely
park
different.
cleanup.
It's completely different.
And then they have a electronics recycling event, which is not what Spring Sweep, it was a part of it, but it was more than that.
And now that's every third Saturday over at,
Yeah, that already,
right around here,
that
yeah,
already
exactly.
happens.
Yeah.
So that's not really so
so I'm in agreement that we need
Yeah.
clarification. You're
Exactly.
using this phrase for two different actions. So what are we supposed to do? And then we didn't even know about it till right now. Oh, that's a part of our responsibility? Yeah.
yeah, clarity is needed.
Yeah.
So that everyone has a clear understanding of the mission, the objective, not only us as a commission, but also our residents, which we are here to serve, need to understand if that's going to happen or not. Because people save up all year for that. And I'm one of them, right?
Me too.
Yeah. So that's all. I don't want to, we can maybe talk about this next,
Well, we're gonna, like I
Next
said,
time,
we're gonna
yeah.
include it as an item in the
Okay.
agenda.
Good.
And
Oh, great.
we'll all have it in front of us for the next meeting.
Thank you.
And then we can have any other discussion about it at that point in
okay,
time.
sounds great. Thank you.
Because that way, it's in front of everybody at the same time.
Okay, thank you.
So that was the only public comment I personally received.
Okay. So it's my understanding that they're still working on getting us email addresses that we can use as Garden Village Commissioner members.
Are we moving on to item 7? Commissioner comments?
Yeah, it looks
Okay.
like it.
Okay.
The same thing applies for our ID pictures. I don't know if anybody has gotten their ID pictures done. I tried to send my file and they sent it back to me. I have to send it in a different format. I don't know why they didn't like it, but I have to do that myself. So I just want to mention these things because we all have to get that done.
Mind reminding us of who we're emailing this to at the village?
I'm sorry?
Where are we emailing our ID pictures? If you can remind us.
So, did you receive an email telling you to provide?
There was no email. You remember the packet that last time from the first meeting that we had? Mm-hmm. That one packet, there is a page in the very back of it, and that's the one that tells you the information, where to go to and things like that, but nothing about emailing. It just says for you to be present at, I don't know, I'm not even sure if it's here.
I think I received an email actually, but
Oh, okay.
it's in all the
Buried.
spam emails. I can't find it.
Yeah, I didn't receive an email. What I recall is that you just have to submit a photo with a white background, the headshot.
Yeah, they asked you
the
for a
ID.
headshot.
And I already have one of those, and I just wanted to email it to someone.
Oh.
So if there was an email address.
So you
get
could
that
send it
done.
to Dan McCann.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely, he's our HR manager.
Dan McCann.
Yep, at invillapark.com.
Okay. Dan, could you spell his name?
McCann, McCann,
At
invillapark.com.
At invillapark.com. Thank you.
Double A, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so, I think I've spoken enough, so I'm gonna move on to Village Board Liaison comments. Tim, if you wanna share with us what you have?
Yeah, so I gave you brochures. There's a list of all the parks in there. So if you want to, I believe it's on the 3rd page. So if you have time, you guys want to check out the parks.
great.
It has a list and has addresses there, that you can check it out. I'm more, like Steve said, I'm more than willing to sit down with you guys, email, talk, schedule meetings, whatever you guys need, I'm here for you.
Great.
So, please don't be afraid to reach out. I'm here.
Thank you.
Just a quick question. Steve, did we get a chance for commissioner comments? Did we do that?
Item 7.
Oh, I
Yeah.
skipped over that. Now, let's go back, my fault. Go ahead.
No, I'm good. I just wanted to make sure that we're all on the same page on the agenda.
Okay.
Thank you. Go ahead.
So
Lynn?
this is Commissioner Smith, and pardon me if this was discussed already, but I was going to mention that Chairman De La Rosa and myself did get a chance to tour some of the parks in the village. We went to Monterey and Wildwood. That was like an intersection, kind of like a underused park. We went to Twin Lakes Park, Westmore Park, North Terrace Park, the Iowa Community Center, and then an area on St. Charles Avenue. And I just kind of took notes on the different kind of features in each park and kind of brainstormed on what could maybe be beneficial. So I will try to get this kind of printed out. Right now it's in my Apple Notes, but and then so that the team can see my notes, and I know Commissioner Gallagher also, had a chance to do that. And one idea that I thought of was to kind of help us with funding and to move some of our ideas forward is having corporate sponsors. Because as we were kind of driving around town, there's like different industrial business parks, and maybe, people would love to sponsor some of our events. It's good PR, good for them, good way to get them involved. Helps to offset funding. So that's just something I would like to, I can look into, maybe, I guess, how does it work? Would I take the lead on kind of gathering how that could work, or do we do that as a committee?
Well, I would think that if
First I
you
have
could,
some
if you
small
could develop,
A list.
if you can develop questions and answers from responsible parties who can give you information on how to move these ideas forward, and then bring it back to the board as a commissioner.
It's a memo.
Yeah, commissioner speaks idea. Then that'd be a way to get it into our agenda so that we can have something to deal with.
Okay.
Because we need all the background information to be able to proceed.
Yes, so this was kind of like high level, because right now they have to have something to sponsor. We don't have the event yet, but as we're kind of shaping up our agenda and different programs and how we want to beautify and improve our parks, I can maybe just start doing some initial legwork on it, and like you said, putting it in a memo.
Yeah, or put it in something that we can discuss as within the meeting. But you bring up a good point, though, because that's something that, here we are, we're already an hour and 15 minutes. And to me, that's too long of a meeting. It's like, this meeting should not be the only time that we're talking about Garden Village Commission ideas. It's like, so three of us have gone around the village and just taken a look at the parks that we have, the areas around the village. but it's like Renee and Pete, if you two can go out, drive through the village, and write down your ideas. Come up with some ideas to bring back to our next meeting. Patrice and Lynn have come up with that. It's like, we need to be able to prioritize these ideas so that we can begin to develop a path towards getting us to the end of the year and beyond. Before you got here, we talked about how do we create a budget number for us to use as the commission? Because we're gonna need money for stuff that we don't know about yet. You know, we already talked about it. I don't wanna go over it all again because we're already an hour and 15 minutes into a meeting. But it's important for us to kind of think about things that our commission is gonna need to make contact with village residents. We already talked about doing some kind of a brochure to talk about the Garden Village Commission as a way to let the public know that, okay, we're here. This is what we're charged to do. So that's something, I have 2 notes on my notes about following up with getting a trifold made so that we can have something, but that's gonna cost, you know, it's like, we gotta find out about how it's gonna be paid for. And
Also social media, right? And
well,
then,
that's a whole other discussion. It's like, that, yes, how we establish a face for the Garden Village Commission.
I mean, as far as posting, tabling, you know, at events that we have. And do we have like a,
We talked about that.
Oh,
No,
the-
we
the
don't
little
have a
skirting thing?
tablecloth, we
I mean,
don't have
that-
anything.
okay, yeah.
We have 0, and we have no budget.
so what I was just gonna suggest, since we are talking about what's in our responsibilities next week, I mean, at our next meeting, or even in between, that's kind of gonna guide what we have to do, and then if we come up with the list that we have of stuff we wanna do, kind of flesh that out, put it in the different buckets, and then just kind of see, okay, what do we wanna do this fiscal year, you know? And
Yeah, we
then-
have to prioritize.
and prioritize it, because we're not gonna be able to do everything. And then, given that we are a new commission, we're all trying to gel, we're all trying to get together, figure this out. It's not unusual that our meetings might be a little longer. Yeah, and then given that this one
Not a
was
fan.
supposed to start at 7, and then was changed to 6, so, you know,
Yeah,
so
right.
that, we gotta consider that too.
I have a question. Can you remind me, are we allowed to talk to one other person on our commission, and do we have to be here to talk?
No,
No.
it
So
can't be
we-
more than 3.
Can't be more than,
Yes,
Oh,
more
just-
than 3.
It can't be more than 3.
You can talk one-on-one with
3
another
people?
commissioner. 3 people constitutes an ad hoc meeting, which is not allowed.
right, okay, so only 2, okay.
So just do-
And were you finished sharing what you needed to share?
Oh, yes, thank you, I'm done.
Okay, so piggybacking on that, I have lots of notes from my drive around with Steve. And I'd love to share highlights. I'm happy to email them to the people
Okay.
that didn't get them. And I need emails. You might have given me the emails. I can't find it in my spam email. You know, I just can't find the emails I need. So I need everybody's emails. And then one thing I did want to share, I did get an Excel spreadsheet back from Michelle. Is she our interim director of economic business development? Anyway, she's taking the place of Mark for right now. And so I emailed, I think Lynn, I emailed one to you, and I emailed one to Steve. Thank you. And what I put, I made a column for notes. So I already know, I live right across from Rotary Park. So what she did was she gave us a list, and it's kind of a funky list, but we can get through it, of every village-owned property. And so I already know
Oh,
since.
very good. You were able to get that from me.
Yeah, I emailed it to you.
Huh.
The Excel
It must have
spreadsheet.
gone into spam.
Okay.
Maybe you had suggested maybe a Google Doc or something.
And I can put it in a Google Doc and then everybody can
Yeah.
look at what the notes are. So I already put my little notes. I forget what notes I wrote, but, it's probably in here, but I don't want to take the time to look for it. So I'm happy to email that to everybody if I have your emails. And also, I want to ask her again, you and I had talked about, what are the exact parameters of Villa Park? And then, I know I emailed her, I don't think I got a response. I want to know if they have any vacant property. So we have a list of properties. I'm wondering if she can, what is the word I'm looking for? Separate them into vacant property.
I was gonna mention that our comprehensive plan,
Is it there?
the comprehensive plan does have, areas shaded and even the different, that is kind of a tool that we're supposed to be using as part of our resources to help us to, with our
It's hard
mission.
for my ADD brain to look at, all
Yeah.
those squares and things, but,
It has some really useful maps in there. They're already color coded.
Right.
With, village-owned property, and then it also is prioritized on, if it's a priority development area or,
okay,
so that can be a great tool for us.
okay. And that we can use that nicely with the Excel, because the Excel is just all the properties listed. So, in that kind of format, so it could work together. And then the other thing I just wanted to share was, Steve and I really, we cruised around. It was really cool. There were areas of Villa Park I didn't even know existed. But I do want to share, and this is for going forward, but just a thought to put in your head, that when we are going to do our, once we have the parks that we want to enhance, that we could do, a friend of mine did this in Long Island. Their town got together and they did a contest for architects. Come on, all architects around the United States or local, come on and give us your ideas, and we'll have a contest, and whoever wins is gonna get the notoriety. So they got free architectural design landscape plans, and it was just a resounding success. So I just wanna share that, because you did bring up,
With the landscape architect.
or you brought up about, anyway, you brought up a subject that reminded me of that.
Oh, yeah, with having like artists for public art. And the
For
parks and the-
designs, like when we
Designs,
went to
yeah.
this area that we hope can be designated as a park,
Mm-hmm.
that we would have we'd have a contest, that we don't have to hire somebody.
Yeah.
Have a contest and let,
They can showcase their work.
yeah, and then use social media, we can make it an event and so on. But I know it's late and you don't like long meetings, so I'm done. I'll be quiet.
Well, I just want these meetings to be useful. It's not that I hate meetings, but I do. It's just, I like to see us be productive.
Yeah, right now though, because we are a new group, we are brainstorming too to get ideas. And then once you kind of get going, then it's easier to hour. But right now, we're trying to gel, get ideas, so we do know what we're focusing on. And, doing that just with two people, we do need to do it collectively. I would like to hear other people's ideas too. But, thank you. Yeah, so that's,
Okay.
village staff, village staff.
Tim, did you want to share anything else about about your liaison work with us? And,
I'm good for right now. Like I
okay.
said, I'm here for you guys if you need anything.
Okay, so I guess what we've all developed tonight is basically a plan for our next meeting. And hopefully, Renee and Pete, you can reach out and share some ideas from your own drive-arounds, because I've tried to get you involved to do a drive-around, haven't heard.
Steve, I'd like to say, I have been driving around, I do have ideas. I have not had time to spend time with you personally driving around.
Okay.
But I have tremendous list of ideas that I'm happy to share. There wasn't really space or opportunity in the meeting tonight to do that. So, forgive me for not being able to do a hand-holding drive with you, and I certainly would enjoy that, but it's just not been possible during this one particular month of the year because of my work schedule. Okay, so we'll be able to communicate more on that. If you'd like, I'm usually at 6 o'clock in the morning at the coffee shop getting ready to head out to work, and not home until usually late in the evening. I'm happy to meet with you for a cup of coffee or any other time, but please don't suggest that I don't have ideas or I'm not prepared, because I am. I have lots. So we'll go ahead and we can share that.
Our emails are all, we have our emails that I've sent you information on that you can use to send back to me.
Okay.
It's like, don't hesitate. It's like, I do read my emails. I usually answer my phone, and I try to empty out my voicemail once a week. Not always successful, but that's what I try to do, so.
All right. Fair enough.
And
Thank you.
Steve, you had added that I was going to talk about that little piece of land next to Villa Perk, but I don't have to do that at this meeting. We could put that in the next one.
Okay, yeah, I think that's why it's like we need to get all these different ideas so we can prioritize them as a board,
Wonderful.
as a commission.
Yeah.
So that, it's not just me saying, okay, let's do this, let's
You
do
can put
that.
them in a Google spreadsheet. That's the most efficient way to do that. Then they're all in one spot, and people can be in there at the same time and just pull up the Google spreadsheet.
Okay, so we've
Is everybody
created a
comfortable
way,
with that?
there are ways that, that we can share the information, and that's what's important, is to collect and share the information that we are collecting, because this meeting once a month can only do so much.
Yeah.
And we need to be able to do other things to prepare for this meeting.
Yes.
So I'm sorry if that comes off as being more demanding than a one-month meeting, but that's how stuff gets done. It's like, you got to chip away at it. And there's a lot to chip away at, so. Does anybody else have anything that they want to add or contribute to the meeting before we take a motion for adjournment?
Did you want to repeat action items? Or is everybody clear?
That would be good.
Okay,
I can repeat my understanding of action items is that the notes that I took from the village will put in a Google Doc, not a Google spreadsheet, I'm gonna say Google Doc. And that'll be my notes from the park meeting, and then I believe you were going to, follow up with the village regarding, the AI assistant for minutes.
yeah,
if
I'm
that's
gonna
something-
talk to
yeah.
Tina, because she's our board liaison.
And then each of us should send our ID pictures with a white background to email to Dan McCann at invillapark.com. He's in HR. And then I was gonna also start fleshing out the kind of corporate sponsor idea. It's a little bit mature because first we have to see what events. And then next meeting, it's my understanding, like before we have our next meeting, you want everybody to have their ideas, their initial ideas in that sheet, in our Google Doc.
Okay, if you're gonna send that Google out as a tool for everybody to use,
Yeah,
So you'll create the Google Doc?
I can.
Okay, great.
okay, the only other thing I would add to that is I have a follow-up with the Sugar Creek Golf Course management person to talk to them about that parcel at the west side of their property. And the follow-up with Tina. And Let's see. Patrice was gonna do a little research on monument status or other things that could be designated in a similar style. And the other thing I had to do was follow up with the marketing person here in the village to come up with an idea for a trifold for us for the commission.
And I just wanted to suggest that she comes up with a trifold, also to have a digital counterpart that can be placed on social media, because that'll reach way more people.
Like a QR code on it?
Yeah, or just something on social media. A lot of people don't really read paper as much, and it's more sustainable.
And how about clarity on the spring sweep? Are we gonna get clarity
yes.
on that?
Well, that's gonna be when we
Right.
put
Discuss
the
it.
actual wording of the Authorization Act for the Garden Village Commission. That should give us some clarity.
Okay.
And that's all that I have. Are there any other additions that we may have not included?
So just for clarity again, so anybody that has ideas, Commissioner Lynn is going to, Lynn Smith, right? Is going to create the Google Doc. It's very easy. You just have to click on it from your own computer and you get on it. And if you have any ideas that you want to share for our next meeting, please place them there.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Okay, is that it?
Yes.
Can we get a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Somebody want to make a motion?
Go ahead.
Can we have a
Commissioner
motion?
Smith's motions to adjourn this meeting.
Can we get a second?
Commissioner Gallagher, second. I second the motion.
Okay, then the first time using a hammer? Meeting adjourned.